Hello, my name is Michele Potestà and I'm an international arbitration attorney in Geneva. I would like to invite you to attend the session that I've put together and which is entitled One Step Forward, Two Steps Back, Judicializing Trade and International Dispute Settlement. In this panel, practitioners, academics, and treaty negotiators will discuss whether standing courts and tribunals are the most effective mechanism for the resolution of international trade and investment disputes. And UNCITRAL states are discussing the creation of new standing adjudicatory bodies, including a potential multilateral investment courts, to tackle the perceived legitimacy crisis that ISDS is facing. At the same time, the recent crisis in confidence at the WTO suggests that increased judicialization may result in its own problems. So is judicialization the only approach to address systemic crisis, or is it time to reconceive of international dispute resolution based on other models? Join the conversation at this year's annual meeting.
Climate change is increasingly being litigated before courts around the world. We currently count more than 1,600 climate cases filed in national, regional, or international jurisdictions. Yet the principal judicial organ of the UN, and arguably the highest court in the world, the International Court of Justice, has not yet had a say on climate change. Youth activists and small island nations are seeking to change this through a campaign asking for an advisory opinion from the courts. Could the ICJ indeed play a role in addressing the climate crisis, and if so, what might its contribution look like? This session at the ACIL annual meeting, featuring Jorge Viñuales, Lavanya Rajamani, Christina Voigt, and youth activist Solomon Yeo, discusses the answers. They will also be available to answer your questions during and after the session. Make sure not to miss it.
Hi everyone, I'm Pong. I'm one of the program committee members for this year's annual meeting. I organized the panel called International Trade Dispute Settlement 2.0, and I have 4 key reasons why you should sign up and tune in for this panel. First, we have a distinguished panel comprising leading academics and practitioners based out of Geneva, Amsterdam, and Sydney, with diverse views and experiences in dispute settlement, moderated by Professor Kathleen Clausen, who co-chairs the ACIL International Economic Law Interest Group. Again, this panel will share their candid views on a wide range of issues in international trade, including the impact, if any, of the multi-party interim appeal mechanism on potential reforms of the WTO dispute settlement system, to why dispute settlement via free trade agreements remains underutilized despite the proliferation of these agreements. Third, the panel will also do some crystal ball gazing with what they foresee to be likely disputes arising from the pandemic, as well as new issues that might confront the global trade community. And finally, you'll have the opportunity to engage with our distinguished speakers during continuing the conversation session that happens right after the panel. So join us on March 25th at 12:30 p.m. and I'll see you there.